Today I'm going to show you my process for planting tomatoes. It might be good and it might be bad, but this is my second year and this is kind of how I did it last year, so I'm going to go with it again and show you what I do to plant these. I've had a really rough start to this year. The weather just hasn't cooperated. My seedlings have just not been the greatest this year. They started out good and they were really good in the greenhouse, but as soon as I took them outside, they just have not been happy at all. So they're all looking a little shabby. They are I think they're starting to pick up a little bit. The tops of them, I've heard that as long as the tops of them start growing in like a darker green, they're gonna make it. So like I have these, like they look terrible, but there is some darker green leafy stuff on top. So I think they're gonna be able to pull through. That's what I'm hoping anyways. So I'm just gonna keep planting them and we'll see what happens. I also got a little extra additives for this year, which I did not do last year. And last year I got mounds and mounds of tomatoes. They just never turned red, but there was a lot of them. I think I figured out what my problem was last year. I think I just had too many tomatoes and the plants were just having a hard time turning them red, or it was just the weather. But I don't think I'm gonna plant as many this year, or maybe I am. So we'll see. I had a lot of problems also with tomato hornworms. That was pretty bad too. So they ate a lot of my plants, which is kind of why I plant so many. People are like, you don't really need that many. And I'm like, well, I kind of do, because hornworms eat everything. Uh-oh, looks like we have a killdeer bird over here. Looks like it's yelling at the barn kitty. Here's the barn kitty. Looks like it chased, I haven't seen any in the garden, so it looks like it must have chased the kitty over here. So there must be a nest over there. Okay, so here's what I do when I start my tomatoes. See, as you can see, these tomatoes, even the tops of them, there's little spots on them, which isn't good, but I said we're gonna plant it and see how it does. Okay, so first of all, I dig little holes just to get started, and then I kind of rip this paper open a little bit. All right, and then I gotta grab my shovel. It's a little hard with one hand here. Oh, Mango's gonna help us out. The horses are gonna say hi too. All right, so I dig the hole out. And I dig it long because these seedlings have gotten so long. I don't know, all the animals are yelling all of a sudden. Maybe I better look around, see if there's anything here. Okay. Oh, a bird. Okay. So once I get this hole big enough, and I don't even make them super deep. And they're in there, but maybe an inch or two, but that's usually about it. And then this year, which I did not do this part last year, so we'll see, as I'm taking some bone meal, and I'm just gonna put like a handful in there. And then I've also been just sprinkling a little bit. I do usually wear gloves when I'm doing this. I'll probably put it back on. I haven't quite figured out how to do that with one hand here. Okay, let me get my other glove on and then I will show you what I do next. I don't know why the cat's trying to eat the bone meal. Oh, here's the mango. All right, I guess I'm not gonna. Here, give me 1 second here. Okay, so I got my glove on. One hand. Sorry, that's silly. All right, and then I take my hose, and I'm gonna spray that in here. See, that'll probably get the kitty to go away. And I really fill it up. I fill the whole hole up with water. So it's right up to the top. And then I take the tomato plant, move the cat. Come on, no, that's not for you to drink. And then I lay the plant in here on its side. This one has 2 in it. I'm just gonna leave the 2. I usually just kind of spread them apart. It's probably a really bad garden idea, but I do it anyways. Or if one doesn't make it, then we can pull it out and put the other one in. And then I planted in here sideways, like on its side here. I put as much of the old soil in it. You can see it is really, it's just not really good looking soil by any means. But things grew in it last year, so I am using new stuff to put around them once I get them in here. I'll show you what I use in just a minute. What I'm using this year. Hopefully it's good. All right, so I'm gonna come over here. I have a bag of it over here. I don't know why I don't bring it closer, but I just haven't yet. It is this Kellogg Garden Organics, all natural, organic ingredients. So I've heard it's good, so I'm giving it a shot. So I could just fill up my little cup with it. To me, it seems very like mulchy. I guess I was expecting more like some soil, but it is definitely more like mulch. But it really needs mulch over here, so I guess that's okay. All right, and then I'm just gonna put a little more around here, around these plants. And there we go. Tuck them in there a little bit. I usually try to get them to stand up as straight as possible. Push it in there, and I go up as far as I can. There, and then I leave it like that, and then I water it again. Just on top. This time, just kind of a light sprinkle. And then like every time I plant one, I kind of go back and spray the ones I've already done. I don't know why, it just gives them a little extra water, and then I do that every time, and then by the end they're all usually still kind of damp. So that is how I plant my tomatoes. And I mean, last year they did great doing this process. I still got to get all my trellises up and everything. I got that one. I have tomato towers up, and I got some mulch in there because the weeds are so bad here. They will just push this black fabric out of the way in no time. I think over there you can almost see the far back one. The black fabric is about up higher than the frame, so from the weeds pushing it up. So the weeds here are just so terrible. That's why I kind of decided to grab some new potting mix or some soil stuff this year. It needs to be refreshed, and there's just so many weeds and bugs in it. It's terrible. So I still have quite a few I'm doing in here. These are Roma tomatoes. I have some Brandywine yellows. Those are Campbell's. These are Sweetie Cherry, and those are, what are those? Oh, those are also Romas. I wanted a lot of Romas this year because I really like doing sauce, so I'm trying that this year. And we'll see how those go. So that's what I got in. These indeterminate ones, I'm gonna put up more like trellises like what I have for the cucumbers, and I'm gonna try that this year because last year I just could not keep up with the trellising on them. They kept knocking everything over and it just wasn't good. So I'm gonna try it like I have the cucumbers there and see if that's any better. So that's what it's looking like now for the tomatoes. Yep, I'll let you know in a couple of weeks how they're doing. Bye.